Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different than reselling. I'd like to keep my channel just like very open and real because I feel like YouTube and making videos is my way of reaching out to more people and letting them know what I'm experiencing in my life. Not only as a mom, a wife, a reseller, but just like me in general and like the things that I'm going through in life. So this is like a really hard video to make, I think, but I think that like getting it out and possibly helping some other people. I know that this topic is going to be searched for a lot because I know I see other videos that I've searched and the views on them are like crazy. So I just would really like to get my experience with it out, and obviously by the title you can tell that this video is going to be about mental health and about specifically bipolar disorder, OCD, and anxiety. So if listening to other people's experiences is like a trigger for you, you might want to click off this video. I really don't want to trigger anyone, but I do want to just be real and honest and open with everyone because if I can help just like one person, this whole video and like my channel and stuff is worth it. So I'm going to like start from the beginning. I have always, since I was like very young, felt like there was something off, like there was something wrong with me. As a teenager, I was very rebellious. I fought with my mom a lot, and I ended up not even graduating high school because I was just one of those people. I could not finish tasks. I had no like drive to do any of that. I did eventually go back and get my GED, and I did go off to college, but then again in college I was very reckless, and I experimented with drugs, alcohol, and I ended up leaving college after 2 years. I was also in very toxic relationships in my past, and abusive, and some of my exes were like very into drugs, drug addicts, stuff like that. I was never into like hard drugs. I never got addicted to drugs, but I did experiment with some. I drank, and I was very reckless, and I always just felt different compared to other people. I had a lot of like love issues and self-confidence issues. I always felt like I was the black sheep, and I still might be. I might just like be that way because I am still, but I always just felt different, and I never could get a hold of what was going on with me. And so when I was about 13 or 14, I went to a family doctor, and she was a pediatric doctor, and she I can't even say it. She specialized in mental health issues and stuff like that. So I went to her. She actually diagnosed me with ADHD, and now I know that ADHD and bipolar disorder can be misdiagnosed very easily because in kids it can show some of the same symptoms. So she prescribed me Adderall, and I was on Adderall up until college, and I was like I was so on and off with it. I would take it when I needed to get stuff done because it would make me feel so like, not high as in like high, but like high as in like super up there, energized, motivated. But I also wouldn't eat. I also would be up for 2 to 3 days straight. I was still very reckless, and it made things a lot worse. And I was very irritable. I would snap like a switch on it, and it just wasn't a very healthy thing. So when I was in college, I did switch doctors up to my college, and when I came back, I never went back to her. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. I really liked her, but I just went to a different doctor. And the doctor that I had, he was very nice, but I could always tell that he just would like give me the next thing. And I don't think he was really like paying attention to the underlying issues. He was just a family doctor, but he had me on, he just diagnosed me with anxiety and depression, and he had me on, I think, 6 different medications. The last medication I was on was desperamine, and it is for extreme depression. And I have never really went through extreme depression. I get depressed. I have a lot of episodes where I do get depressed, but it is not like I can't get out of bed depressed. It's more just like super up and down. And I had some really bad thoughts about not wanting to live. And I went to him a few months ago and I told him about it, and he pretty much said, okay, well, I'm going to up your dose, and if you have any more suicidal thoughts, then you need to call the office right away. And that just didn't really sit with me well. I don't think he took me seriously, and it scared me. So I eventually started doing my own research. I think being a self-advocate is super important because our health system is, there are some good doctors out there, but our health system is going to shit, and I'm just going to say that because a lot of doctors just, they have a time frame and they need to get you in and out in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I feel like a lot of doctors are just losing their want to actually help people and find the underlying issues. Not saying that all are like that, because I've seen amazing doctors, and we just need more like that. But I started self-advocating and researching. And bipolar disorder never, I mean, I thought about it before, but when you think of bipolar, a lot of people, it has such a stigma attached to it that a lot of people think bipolar is like you're super insane, you hear voices, you're going to like hurt somebody and like hurt, like just crazy stuff. And that's not always the case. The percentage of people like that with bipolar disorder are super low. I think it's like 3 to 4%. So a lot of people with bipolar disorder are not to that extreme. There's a lot of different kinds of bipolar disorder, and I think people like don't understand that. And to be honest, I didn't really understand it either until I started doing my research. And it's so important to do your own research. So I went and watched YouTube videos over and over, hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos. My favorite channel is Polar Warriors. He has helped me so much. I got so much information from him, and I just like love that channel. So I went to back to the doctor I originally went to. I made an appointment with her just last Monday, and I went to see her with a full list of my symptoms, everything that I've been going through, and I talked to her about everything, and she in fact told me that I have bipolar disorder, and she also thinks that I am on the OCD side and as well as anxiety. So she thinks that she's going to have to stack some medications with me because I have the different issues. So I'm going to just list some of the issues that I have had over years, and they have just started getting a lot worse. So I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. She will be 3 in October. And ever since having her, my symptoms have literally skyrocketed. And I thought maybe like postpartum depression, but in fact, when your body goes through any traumatic experience, or your brain does, it can trigger your symptoms to come out. And what we think has happened is when I went through childbirth, it was a traumatic like body experience, and so we think that that started the symptoms to come to the surface, and they have just been getting worse and worse and worse over these past couple years. And so yeah, I'm kind of getting off track, but so I am either really, really high or really, really low. So when I'm really high, and it's called being manic, it's manic episodes, and when I'm really high, which I have been for the past 2 weeks. So when I'm manic, I am super positive. I feel like life is in full color. I am motivated. I can finish projects. I have a million things running. I am constantly doing something. I'm visiting people, going out and doing things with my daughter, cleaning the house, starting new things, super, super happy, usually in a super good mood. Now, I do have some like up and down during my manic episodes. Like I can get very like agitated, irritated, stuff like that. But for the most part, everything is super, super high. And sometimes it gets so high that I feel like I'm either on a stimulant or I've had like 15 cups of coffee. And I don't sleep a lot. I need less sleep. My daughter's playing with my cat. I need less sleep, and sometimes it gets so bad where I can't even speak right. I stutter over my words. I'm talking so fast that I can barely get my thoughts out, and my brain is running and running and running like overdrive. So people can actually notice it. Like my husband can notice when I'm manic because he can like see my like complete shift in how I'm talking, how I'm acting, all of that. When you're manic, you feel great, and so a lot of people forget to mention that to their doctors, and that's why.
Mommy.
What, baby? So people forget to mention the manic episodes to their doctors because you feel so great, so they only mention the depressed episodes, which makes your doctor it can be misdiagnosed for just depression.
I didn't miss.
So that is a lot of the reason why bipolar disorder gets misdiagnosed, is because so bipolar disorder can be misdiagnosed for just depression because bipolar is the really, really lows and then the manic on top of it. So they really do misdiagnose it very easily because of that. And so that's a little bit about that. When I'm really low, I am so low, and it will hit me like that for no reason. Sometimes, I mean, obviously everyone has like daily stressors and things that happen in their life that can make you sad or whatever, but sometimes my depression hits out of nowhere, and I'll go from really, really high to really low, and there's like really no in between levels for me. And so I have rapid cycling. Some people with bipolar go months and months in one, either mania or in depression, and I go back and forth a lot. So I have a thing called rapid cycling where I am really, really high, really, really low, and I just keep cycling back through that. And sometimes I can cycle multiple times a week, and sometimes I can even cycle more than once during a day, and that can be really hard to deal with. And it's especially hard on like my daughter and my husband, and sometimes it can really like bring you into a depression because you think of how you're not only dealing with this, but your family is as well, and your loved ones. So that's a little bit about the bipolar part. I also have OCD, so I have a thing called intrusive thoughts, and it sounds a little bit scarier than it really is. Well, I mean, it's very, very scary for me, but it's not like I have these like intrusive thoughts that I'm gonna go hurt someone, or like I'm gonna hurt, like do crazy stuff. But my intrusive thoughts are more like when I'm driving down the road to the grocery store and my daughter's in the back seat, I will picture a Mack truck flying through a red light, slamming into us and killing her. And I will have the whole thing pictured through my head, graphic details and all, and it will throw me straight into a panic attack. And it is to the point where I have intrusive thoughts so badly that I do not let my daughter go with certain people. I mean, obviously, but like family members, she's most of the time with us 24/7. And sometimes I don't even want to leave my house with her because I have such terrible anxiety about like things happening that we will just stay home. And it's very hard to like come to terms with that because she's 2.5 and I want to take her to do things and stuff like that. So lately I have been waiting for either my mom to be here, which my mom comes a lot. She works 12-hour shifts, so she's a nurse, and she will be here for days at a time. And when she's here, it's easier for me to keep those things off my mind, and we go do things, or I wait for my husband to be home a day and we go do things together. So it's very hard doing daily tasks with those intrusive thoughts constantly. And I'm not going to go like too far into detail with like examples of my thoughts, but they're very, very scary, and it is so draining having them. So another thing I have is OCD, which goes along with the intrusive thoughts. But so OCD is a form of like obsessing over those thoughts, and I will obsess over things for sometimes hours, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. Anything that happens, I am completely obsessed over it, good or bad. And when I'm in my manic episodes, I am super obsessive compulsive about cleaning and keeping things in their spots. I'll have to make sure everything is adjusted the right way, and if a picture frame is a little crooked, I have to fix it. If anything is off, I have to make sure I fix it and it's clean. When I'm super low and depressed, I could give two shits less about any of it. I'll let the dishes stack to the ceiling. I'll let the laundry go for days. I will not really care about any of that. So, hi baby. So that's a little bit about that part. So I just wanted to kind of make this video. So Monday I went to my doctor, told her all of this stuff. And I also have some hair loss going on and some irregular menstrual cycles, very, very, very irregular. And I quit my birth control quite a few months ago, like over a year ago, because I thought it was contributing to my daily headaches that I have. And that was not what it was. But my doctor said she wants me to start birth control again on Sunday before she starts me on my bipolar medication, because the medication she's putting me on can cause severe birth defects. And so she wants me to start that, and she did blood work, so she wants to get the blood work back before she starts me on the new medication. So Monday I go back to her to get the medication and start that. So I'm hoping that I can make some videos kind of like jotting down my journey with this, and I think it's super important. And I kind of want to, like, I want to help other people, but I also want to keep track and see where I go with this and if it helps. And I think YouTube videos are like the best way of keeping like a journal of experiences. So I just wanted to kind of give like a beginning background of everything that's been going on before I start my medication, and so we can see where everything goes from here on out. So I think that's it for this video. If you guys want to follow my journey or see how this stuff is working, please like, subscribe. And if you don't want to miss a video, down below the subscribe button there is a little bell, and if you push that little bell, it will notify you when I make another video. So this channel is going to be full of all kinds of different things: mom life, wife life, reseller life, mental health life. So if you would like to follow along, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.